Good morning and welcome back to WSBA Morning News with Gary Sutton. Our final hour here on a Wednesday morning on News Radio 910 WSBA. And with us this morning, we have two guests. And our first one with us here in studio this morning to kind of set up our second one is Todd Willman, who is the marketing and membership manager of the Manufacturers Association right here in the York area. And they've got a big event coming up on April 26th. It's going to be out at the Pullo Center on the campus of Penn State York. Starts at 4:30 with a reception, 6 o'clock with a program. But it's really exciting, especially if you are a business out there, small business or otherwise, and you want to have a culture of innovation. This is going to be a spark plug for you. Todd, good morning. Great to have you on the show.
Hey, good morning, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well, and it's going to be an exciting time. I saw Create, Execute, and Grow are really kind of part of the buzzwords you're going to be talking a lot about at this particular meeting.
Those are the key words this year, absolutely. And we've taken a little bit of a different approach this year. I know historically, this being our 111th annual event, we've gone down the avenues of nationally known political speakers and sports notables, etc. And after the election campaign last year, there was a lot of talk about re-strengthening American manufacturing, what we needed to do to kind of bring a lot of activity and optimism back to that sector of the economy. And we wanted to seek out a good dynamic keynote speaker who could talk to us about manufacturing, but not do so as a manufacturer per se. And the nice thing with Doug is he has kind of a theory of bringing a culture of innovation into any business, whether you're a manufacturer or not, where you can take an idea from kind of the concept stage, figure out how to produce and make it, and then push it out into the marketplace as a successful product.
And that brings us to Doug Hall, our other guest this morning, who is going to be the keynote speaker that night. He is a nationally recognized hands-on innovation practitioner, educator, and author who once held the position of, get this, Master Marketing Inventor for Procter & Gamble. And he is the keynote speaker for this 2017 event by the Manufacturers Association. April 26th, he's the author of 7 all-time best-selling books on business, CEO and founder of the Eureka Ranch and the Innovation Engineering Institute. He's a nationally noted speaker, widely touted as a driving force in creating innovation blueprints for businesses. And he's been with businesses like Ford, Nike, American Express, and Walt Disney in terms of developing products and services for them. Let's welcome to the show this morning Doug Hall, who's going to be in York on April 26th. Doug, great to have you on the show. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
Well, we got Todd here. I've got you here, so I'm kind of set for the day. But, Todd was setting up here that, one of the things that we heard a lot about last year during the campaign was this idea that we wanted to strengthen the competitive position of American manufacturing. We wanted to strengthen American business, frankly. So what do you bring to York here on April 26th as part of your message?
Well, I'm going to bring them a new mindset that's actually an old mindset. In fact, any of them that do Lean or Six Sigma or any of the process mindsets, I'm going to bring them the next chapter of that. Those were all created by a guy named Dr. W. Edwards Deming, who was a guy famous in Japan who recreated Japan and then came to the U.S. in the 80s. And my dad worked with him when he first came. And my success at Procter & Gamble and others was by applying those same methods you used in the production floor to strategy, innovation, and how we work together. So we're going to teach them how to increase innovation speed and decrease risk by enabling everyone in their organization to think quicker, smarter, and more creatively.
You've worked with sales, marketing, engineering teams to develop products and services for some of the biggest brands in the world, Ford, Nike, American Express, and Walt Disney, as we mentioned a moment ago. Talk specifically about some of the things that you suggested in terms of innovation for those types of companies.
Well, what's interesting about each of those, let's take American Express as an example. We worked with American Express. They came to us with a challenge. They said, credit cards are becoming commoditized. We want to create a new super premium card. And they said, all we know is it's going to be black and it's going to cost $2,000. I said, you're kidding, right? They said, no, it's going to cost $2,000. They said, we need you to help us figure out how to give $5,000 worth of value for $2,000. I said, okay, I understand that. But interestingly, and this is the secret that people don't know, people think it's about a guru coming up with ideas. Ideas are easy. The hard part is making them happen. And that's why I love the focus here on execute and grow. It's the execution. That's what all of the problems are. So for American Express, we did more work on working with their systems for how their support systems, their customer service support systems, reinventing their systems of operation to enable this credit card to do its thing. It was not about the card. The card was the easy idea. The hard part was figuring out how in the world are we going to execute this? How are we going to make it? And so innovation is more than new products and services. Yes, that's it. But in the work that we do, that's 20% at most. 80% of the work is on helping the organization work smarter and faster, enabling them to be able to then do great things for their customers.
We've got Todd here this morning, too. Todd, you wanted to ask a question, Doug?
No, Doug, I it's nice to chat with you again. I know we talked a few weeks back. It's certainly an event coming up on the 26th. We're delighted to have you be a part of our event. We're obviously looking at several hundred folks from the South Central Pennsylvania region coming into this. Gary himself is actually our host and MC for that evening's activities. So you'll have a chance actually to meet Gary, and we as an association, I just want to add this: we over the years have greatly appreciated the support that we've gotten from Gary for the regional manufacturing community. There's probably not a stronger supporter in the South Central Pennsylvania region for what manufacturers are trying to do and how they're trying to be more competitive and more efficient than there is in Gary. And we're delighted to have you be a part of our event, but I also want to add that we're delighted to have Gary be our host for the evening.
Well, it'll be an honor to be there with you that night, Doug. And I had to pay Todd a lot of money to say that, so it really it was tough. He charged me a lot, but it'll be great to be there. I have so much respect. We are a great manufacturing region, have been for a long time. And of course, we're seeing a lot of good, positive energy right now about our manufacturing and our business in this country. So we're certainly looking forward to hearing your message that night as well.
Well, it's all about systems. You know, as Dr. Deming said, 94% of the problem is the system, 6% is the worker.
Doug, we got
systems for accounting and everything else. We need a system to innovate. Sorry
to jump in on you. We're going to take a quick break here. What I want to do is I want to come back and talk about the common things that you're seeing across the board in manufacturing and business in general, and a little bit more of the application of that systems idea that you're talking about in some specific language. We're going to ask you about that when we return. Doug Hall with us here this morning on WSBA Morning News with Gary Sutton, along with Todd Willman, who is the Marketing and Membership Manager